Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to our third installment on the Shakedown Cruise of the new show produced by Lion of Judah Ministries Radio, K-Roar. Talk, that's it, right there. And we're pleased to have you. We're pleased to know you're out there, and we do this for you. This is not about money or anything. We don't make money. we do it to entertain the troops. That's you folks, because we're at war with this COVID-19, and we've already won. God has told us that we have been in victory. But while we're still here on Earth, we are in a battle. But anyway, I hope you folks had a good day yesterday. Weather here in the Philippines was hot. Hot. It's always hot here in the Philippines. That's my only problem. But when it gets cold, it's still hot. The locals here, God love them all. They bundle up in December when it's 86 degrees out, and it's like the sweaters come out and the shawls come out, and I'm here in just a t-shirt, sometimes just my bare macho physique. All right, maybe it's not macho anymore, but that's my Tito, don't stick your tongue out at me. That's not nice. Anyway, he's looking for credit again. Yeah, Tito is my producer and chief engineer, so he loves when he gets credit. Yes, there he is, shaking the camera. I couldn't do this without you, Tito. Yeah, so I hope you folks had a wonderful day. And whoops, we're getting feedback. Again, we're in a test mode here, so we're still getting feedback there, Mr. Ron? Hello, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Hello. 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 Move the echoes, please. I'm on a new microphone here with the mixing table. Hello. Is that any better? No, can't fire Tito. Tito's a must-have. Any better, Ricky? Hello. Hello, check, 1, 2. Remember, folks, this is a shakedown cruise as we try to what are you getting? Is it an echo? Is it feedback? Hello. Hello. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to scrap this. Stay by. And we're going to switch over to the dinky Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello. Is that better? God bless you. Tito, you getting a cold? Check. 1, 2. Check. Check. Is that better? Is that any better? Hello. Okay. This is a laptop mic. I've got to work on that. That's a really good microphone. I'm going through a mixing table. I probably have the processors pushed up too high, but I'm not going to waste the time right now. So anyway, yeah, so this is Talk. For those of you just joining us, we thank you for coming out. For my two friends, Ron and Ricky, thank you for the heads up. Yes, I shouldn't be reading these while I'm talking. Well, let's pray real quick before we get started here. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the time that we're able to spend together. Lord, we know Satan is not happy about this. And so he gives us these technical glitches that we have power over in great many ways. And so we will continue to move forward. Lord, I ask that you bless each and everyone listening, those that are heading here to listen, and those that have listened in the past, Lord. We ask that you give us peace, give us the message that you want to receive through the Holy Spirit, and we ask that you help get us through this day. We pray these things in your holy and precious name. Amen. Okay. Now, current events. I don't like to cover bad news. I don't like to get into politics. The only thing is that I think we talked about it yesterday. President Trump is back home from Walter Reed Medical Center, and he is supposedly okay. He had some experimental, I forget what they call it, but they fabricated antibodies for COVID-19. But he's ready to go back out on the campaign trail and not. It's not about politics. It's about this guy's health. You have to feel for him. But he's going back out again, and he says, "Do not fear COVID." But how did he catch it? You know, he's not following the things that he's preaching. That upsets me because people are going to do that, and this is in the U.S. at least. That's going to create problems. So please pray for President Trump and for the American people. I can't cover all the news in the world, but if you have a story that you'd like us to mention and we can talk about, drop me a line. You can always do that. I'll be glad to consider it and we can discuss it because, after all, the name of this show is Talk. There's our email address. It's lionofjudahrradio@kroar.org. Lionofjudahrradio@kroar.org. And like I said, you get us the information and we'll get it on the air. As far as the Philippines, I need to get more information. The problem is I don't understand Tagalog, which is the native language here. I can say simple things like, and Ricky's going to laugh at me now, but that's okay. I love you, bro. Kanan, Kaliwa. Kanan is right. Kaliwa is left. Salamat is thank you. And, simple words like that. Yeah, you think 3 years here, I would be able to talk fluently, but it's tough. I did take a trip with Leonida. I'll talk about it. It's another story. When I first got here in 2016 to Japan for 3 months. And I studied Japanese for 3 months. What were they thinking? It's like you look at the characters, and I'm not mocking. I mean, if that's what you're raised with, that's all you know. That's your language, and I respect that.
But as an American who knows English coming in, it's tough. I remember sitting in the classroom, and there were maybe 15, 20 of us. Most of these were people in business from other countries learning Japanese. And, oh, these people were good. They were ba-bam, 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 ba-bam. Arigato, arigato. It's like the only word I remember. But the teacher, the sensei, would go around the room, and then she'd speak to you in Japanese, and you'd have to answer her in Japanese. And I remember sitting there like I used to in school, like squirming in the seat, and I'm worried. Oh man, what's? I can't do this. So as she got closer and closer to me, I remember she finally got to me, and she goes, "Whatever it was, Dennis." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't pick on somebody else. It was horrific. It was horrific. Even the homework, it was difficult. But the Japanese people were wonderful. They were awesome people. The food was absolutely fabulous. The country was very clean. But we'll leave this for another day. We'll leave this for another episode of Who is Dennis? Let's see. Next on the list is things that happened. Oh, things things that happened today in history. October 6th. A lot of you may not know a guy named Henry Morris. He was no, we're not going to talk about him. He was a great guy. Carol Lombard, the actress, the sexy bombshell from the 1930s and 40s. Her real name was Jane Alice Peters, and she was born on this day in 1908, and she passed away in 1942. Two of her films were Nothing Sacred, 1937, and To Be or Not to Be from 1942. Some of you may remember, or some of you may have no clue who she was. George Westinghouse. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know the Westinghouse name. George Westinghouse was an American inventor, and he invented railway train air brakes in 1868. And until that point, the braking of trains was a very, very dangerous profession. And what the brakemen used to do, there'd be one on top of each car. And when it came time to brake, you've probably seen these on the older models of the train cars. They would turn the wheel, and that would apply the brakes. Fun job? I don't know. But he provided the air brakes, which could be activated, and they're still used today, from the cab of the engine. And he also provided alternating current to the U.S., which then went throughout the world. And I couldn't imagine living without that. Let's see what else. This one is pretty cool. A lot of you older folk will remember this guy, Rip Taylor. Rip Taylor, American comic, known for his confetti-throwing TV personality. He was a regular throughout the 1970s as a celebrity guest panelist on television game shows such as The Hollywood Squares, To Tell the Truth, and The Gong Show. And I even remember him being on David Letterman back in the day. And he would come storming through the crowd. He's throwing confetti around and they're playing Happy Days Are Here Again in the background. And he passed away. I didn't realize this just last year. This is just 1 year since he's gone. So I think he was 90-something. You do the math. But he was born in 1931. And we'll do one more. We're going to do a little bit of this every day because this does change. Okay, here's another one from television. Ted Bessel. Ted Bessel. I'll give you a second to think about who that was. His real name was Howard Weston Bessel Jr. And he died October 6, 1996. Recently, also, I didn't realize that. He was born in 1935. He was an American actor. He was an Emmy-winning director. Personally, I think he was best known from the TV show That Girl with Marlo Thomas, and he was Marlo Thomas's boyfriend. And he was in the Tracy Ullman show. He was a director for that also. So he passed away in this day in 1996, and he was born in 1935. So that's what's happening. What happened today, October 6th, in the past, in history. Taylor made pants. No, Taylor did not make pants. You're thinking it. Never mind. Okay, now let's move along. Okay. I'm going to speak a little bit more about the next chapter in my autobiography. Who is Dennis? Besides this hairy guy. His beard just keeps growing and growing. My hair, look, keeps coming in. This is a miracle, guys. Women don't have this. Well, they have it, trouble, but it's not as bad as men. But this is my Moringa cure. And if you're curious about it, let me know. It's all natural. It's not a commercial, but I've been taking it, and all of a sudden, I didn't realize growing back hair was a side feature. Here's a question from our audience from Ricky Torres. Ricky's asking, Westinghouse, Nikola Tesla's boss. Yes, Nikola Tesla developed DC and wireless electricity, and Tesla became a opponent of his, an enemy. But yes, at some point, I forget exactly. I used to be up on this. Tesla was ripped off. Was ripped off by Westinghouse, and it was Thomas Edison. It was one or the other. But we can talk about this another day too. But the Tesla coil, and people did not want what he was making. Supposedly, it was this huge coil that would send electricity wirelessly to anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to pay for it. Yeah, but of course, Westinghouse, of course, Edison were not interested in that because they wanted the money. They wanted the Tito, turn your phone off. Tito. Yeah, you. What am I going to do with that? Anyway, so I suggest look it up. It's a very interesting guy. There's a couple good documentaries about Nikola Tesla. And yes, I'm not sure about that. He's still with the Taylor pants. Oh, no, that's another. All righty. Moving right along here. I've lost my rhythm today because of the microphone. So I don't think this is going to turn out as good as I expected. And again, keep in mind, we are in shakedown mode. So this is not close to polished. Where am I? I got lost. We were talking about who is Dennis. We're going to go back to Brooklyn when I was where I spent my first 5 years of my life. And Brooklyn was a very different place than it is now. Like I said, it was all nationalities. People knew pretty much everybody. We knew the shopkeepers. I can remember going shopping with my mom, and there was a store that carried like everything. I don't know if it was really a hardware store, but we used to go in there, and mom would buy like mops, buckets, and stuff from there. Kind of like some of the stores. Tito, shut up. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. He's going to want to get a camera one of these days, but he's a producer and engineer. They don't get on camera. So anyway, I remember going in those stores with her and looking at all the cool stuff, the radios, and obviously this is before cell phones and things like that. I remember in our kitchen, the telephone, you folks, I'm sure remember. Telephones evolved very, very much in my lifetime, our lifetimes. And our telephone was mounted on the wall, and it had a dial on it. So you pick up the receiver, you put it by your ear, and you dial, and you heard, and that's how you work the phone. But we were not very advanced. We only had a cord that was about this big, and it'd be stretched a little bit bigger. We knew some of our neighbors were moving up in the world because they were able to get long, longer cords that reached like halfway around the world, and we did not go that route. We kept the phone cord short. So plus at 5 years old, I wasn't talking on the phone yet. So that was the telephone. Uh, Getting back shopping with mom, we had the big. This is before malls. The big store on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn was Sears Roebuck. Sears and Roebuck. It's like everybody knew Sears, but who's Roebuck? Where's Roebuck? I borrowed that from George Carlin. George Carlin. It's hysterical. So the store was not only the store, but was also a tower. I was too young to ask questions, but I'm thinking it was probably, I don't think it was corporate offices, but it was probably a regional office, administrative office. But I remember going in the store, and those stores were big, and they had toy departments, not like Toys R Us today. Uh, you go in a lot of these stores back then. I'll give you an example. Macy's, when it was a real treat, we'd get on the subway or the bus, and we'd go from Brooklyn, where we lived, into Manhattan. And we'd go to, I'm sure you've all seen the store on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, because that's where the main cameras are. That store is old but beautiful, especially when it's decorated for Christmas. And you go in, and it's like another world. It's very, very tall ceilings. The counters are beautiful. The people are the employees are dressed impeccably and are very helpful. Uh, as a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, it was like, I love it. I just couldn't wait to get there. But the best part, especially at Christmas, was Toyland, which was very conveniently, from a marketing standpoint, located right next to Santa's workshop, Santaland, where we would go and we'd stand in line for approximately 3.5 days, waiting for our chance to sit in Santa's lap. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. I got to think of it. Oh, you guys know it all. It comes on every year for Christmas. Uh, anyway, you'll know. But there's a scene where the kid who's the star of the movie waits in line, just like I said, with his kid brother to go see Santa Claus, and they finally get up, and he says to the kid, "What do you want for Christmas?" And the kid says what he's been saying throughout the movie: "I want a Red Ryder BB gun." Blah, 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 blah. And Santa goes, "No, you're going to shoot your eye out," which was the silly tag throughout the movie. And Santa takes his foot and he pushes the kid down the slide going, "Ho, ho, ho." And the point is that whole scene, it's Higbee's department store, but it looked very much like what Macy's looked like. And the toy store was just very, very, it was amazing. It was the toy department was amazing. in Long Island, which we'll get to in another chapter. But they had another big store. They were supposedly the biggest retail store in the world, called A&S, or Abraham and Straus. And I remember going there as an older kid, and we were able to go and run free without being afraid of being kidnapped or anything. And their toy department was like huge. We'd spend all our time there, and then Mom would come back and pick us up when she was done with her shopping. But very slowly, I remember seeing A&S's toy department shrink, and seeing Sears's toy department shrink, and it broke my heart. Yeah, we got Toys R Us, but Toys R Us became the monopoly. So that was that. Also, along that subject, also as a child, I'm remembering one is leading to another. How many of you remember the Sears catalog? The Sears catalog. Sears catalog came out twice a year. There was a spring edition and there was a fall edition, usually about this thick. And then they would come out usually around August, September with the Christmas wish book. We waited for that all year. And that was our toy store at home. And Mom was smart enough to keep us busy. She'd give my brother a red crayon, and she'd give me a green crayon, and she'd say, "Go look in the Sears catalog, and Richard, you put an X on those things you want, and Dennis, you put a green X on those things you would like." And so that's what we did. And that was our Christmas list. And we would do that for day after day after day after day. And it was fun. It was fun. Some of the stuff we received, some of it, like I think we both put down a go-kart. The go-kart was not good. I think we did a mini bike, and that was not good. But something like Monopoly. Oh, we got Monopoly. Or Tinker Toys. Who remembers Tinker Toys? We got Tinker Toys that year also. So yeah, that's about the shopping. I'm going to do a shout out to a gentleman. I don't know if he's listening yet, but maybe he'll be listening to the recording of this down the road. He was my best friend in Brooklyn, and I'll just give him the first name. His name was Robert, and we were the same age, and we grew up together, and we had some great times together. We were talking yesterday about the street rides that would come down on the trucks every day or every couple of days, and we used to go on those together. And one of the biggest memories I have about playing was who remembers G.I. Joe? G.I. Joe, the first man or boy's doll, but it wasn't a doll. It was an action figure. And this action figure had it all. He had the helmets. He had the different uniforms. He had the different add-ons. He had a space capsule. He had a Jeep. He had the guns. He had everything. And we used to spend hours setting up camps and battling each other. And I remember going up to their Robert's family's summer home and playing G.I. Joes. And it was great because this was in the country. And he had the Jeep. And I remember we put 3 G.I. Joes, because my brother was playing too, 3 G.I. Joes in the Jeep. And we pushed the Jeep off this cliff. And it was like, wow, 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 wow. And it made us laugh. We had a good time though. So lots of memories about Robert. I'll share more with you also. But the final, and hey, Robert, love you, bro. The one thing that I remembered also was Chinese food. Chinese food in Brooklyn was awesome. That is the first place I had Chinese food growing up, was in Brooklyn. And I can remember my folks taking us in there into the restaurant. And I know we went out with Robert and his family too, together. And it was just a local place, but it was a nice tablecloths on the tables, properly dressed waiters and waitresses. And you get there and they put down the big bowl of dried noodles. And then, hello, Allison. They put down the two small bowls of the hot mustard and the duck sauce. Duck sauce is the best. Hot mustard for me. Oh, it's hot. Yeah, so you start with that, and then the fathers would get together and decide what we're going to get. But it was usually always the same thing. We get the egg rolls, we get the wonton soup. Pop would usually get the egg drop soup. We would get spare ribs. Ribs are the best. Ribs were the best there. Spare ribs, fried rice, lo mein, chow mein, and then we get ice cream for dessert. And my brother and I used to get either chocolate or vanilla, but my dad always used to get pistachio ice cream. Now you have to understand, Dad got us hooked on pistachio nuts. And pistachio nuts back then, before the scares of the political people, were red. Were red. And so you eat the shells, and I know you guys have been there. You get red all over your fingers. I was waiting for you to say that, George. George, my buddy, telling me. Yeah, and you're on dinner time. We're on breakfast here. Your fingers get all red, and that was I couldn't picture the two: ice cream and red goopy pistachio nuts. I'll tell you what. Probably within the last 3-4 years, I discovered pistachio ice cream. I highly recommend it. It's actually very good. Very good. It's green. It's got the nuts in it. And try it. And if you have tried it for the first time, let me know what you think. It's a acquired taste, but I liked it very much. So that's enough about me today. I am enjoying this because this is starting to stir the follicles of my hair. No. This is starting to keep my brain going, active, and recalling things I haven't recalled in quite a while. So that's it for Dennis. We didn't have a chance to go into too much detail about, well, we didn't go in any detail about one other option on KROR. That's the radio station. And again, if you haven't listened before, I highly recommend it. There's the website. And again, if you're new here, that's the website to go, and you can listen to it right on the website. If you have a phone, you can download the app, either the Apple app, the iOS, or the Android app, and they're very wonderful apps. In fact, the apps both have, I mentioned this yesterday, a wake up feature, like a clock radio, like an alarm clock, and a sleep timer, so you can listen to this wonderful music and listen to these wonderful shows as you sleep, and know that you're going to be woken up to it also. So that's www.kroar.org. The feature, lost my train of thought there. The feature I want to talk about is talk. You get it? Talk. I want to talk about. You see how this works? It is called requests. Making requests. Now, all radio stations take requests, but I can't be on the air 24. Look at that beard coming in. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The station is pretty well automated, but you can't really tell. You'll hear my voice come on, but it's automated. The request feature is pretty cool. The only problem is you can only access it on the website. And when you first log on to www.kroar.org, you see the banner. And then in the middle, there's I think it's red and white. If not, I'm color impaired, so don't listen to me. There's a button that says request a song. And when you press it, it comes up with a list of like 5 or 6 songs. But above is a search box. And if you go to the search box, you can type in the full name of the song and see if we've got it. We've got, I think, over 4,000 songs in the library. That includes Christmas, but I don't have the Christmas songs available right now for requests. I only bring them out at Christmas time. But all the other songs are available. If you don't remember the name of the song, you can type, say, Amazing Grace. But you can't remember it was Grace, but you know it was amazing. And it is an amazing song. Type in Amazing, and it will come up with a list. It's like any search database. Or if you don't remember that, and you know it's a song by Crowder, type in Crowder, and it'll bring up all Crowder's songs. And you then just choose, and I forget the exact sequence of events, but I think it's just 2 more clicks, and you're ready to go. Now, the song is not going to play immediately, depending on how many requests have been made and what's programming. If we're in the middle of a broadcast of, say, Unshackled, which is a half-hour show, it's not going to interrupt the show for your request. It'll more than likely go to the next open spot to play your request. So please don't be frustrated. The other thing is you can only do 2 requests per, I think it's 2 hours, and that just allows other people to get requests in there as well. But take a look at the feature. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, I when we developed this, God didn't want you to be bored with just what was being programmed. Feel free to do some programming yourself and, enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's the most important thing. I'm hoping at some point radio.co is my platform for KROAR. I'm hoping they will bring up the features for what do you call it, for requesting on the apps, but as of yet I have not seen that. All righty, so that's, I think, it for KROAR. Another thing I'm finding as we're talking here, it gets lonely. It's just me and Tito. Tito, he gets a little weird sometimes. So no, I'm not talking about you, Tito. Don't look at me that way. Tito is a little, what's the word I'm thinking? He's a very large guy, but he's very sensitive. Very sensitive. So that's why I whisper. Shh. So anyway, I would like to say to you that we have the ability to have guests on this show. I'm even thinking about maybe opening it up to having a guest one day co-host, and we can have some fun with it. That's what this is about. I mean, this is nothing serious. Yeah, we share the Lord's message, but we're in some tough times, and I'm being led to be here to make us forget those times and focus on the good, and to try and make you smile and forget things. So yes, that's one of the things. Like I've been mentioning, if you have a topic you'd like to talk about, or maybe you want to share a life experience, or you want to share something, write to us. Write to us. Here comes the KROR, Lion of Judah Radio at kroar.org, and tell us what it is that you'd like to do. And it looks like the show is probably going to be an hour-long show. We're at the 1 hour and 10-minute mark right now, and we're still just plugging along here. So if you're interested, let us know. Let us know. One of the things I thought about in these times of COVID, maybe you have a product or service that you would like to help us promote for you. As long as I can approve it, I can take a look at it, and it's okay. We'll be more than glad to help you out. The audience here will continue to grow. We're like I said, this is only our third day, and as time goes on, we will gain listeners. So anything like that, or even suggestions of features for the show that you'd like to see, just reach out and drop us a line again at Lion of Judah Radio, kroar.org. Tito, you took that banner down too early. What did I tell you? Yeah, you gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. Okay, thank you, Tito. Okay, what else? Being a guest. Okay, so let's go to. Bear with me here. Some discussion questions like we do every day. And the first one, now I don't write these come from a website called Generator Mix, and they generate a list of questions that I can then use in our broadcast. So the first one here says, have you been to any concerts recently? Now, that's a silly question, because who's been out of the house to get to a concert in the past 7 months? I don't get it. That's there we go. That's a long time. I haven't been to a concert. Well, I shouldn't say that. I went to a concert. Well, it was the last one in Skyland Stadium in Augusta, in Sussex, near where I used to live. It's a Christian concert, and it was probably 4 years ago. And front row, it was awesome. It was outdoors, and we got there early, and we picnicked, and it was just a good time. But it was Matthew West and Josh. I can't think of his last name, but it was absolutely wonderful. But that's the last concert I went to. But it was great. It was great. I keep seeing tapping the computer, which is making me shake. So I gotta stop that. Capiche? Okay. Doesn't look like anybody's been to concerts. Whoops. Do you like? God bless you, Tito. I think Tito's getting a little cold. Do you like reading books? Well, that's an interesting question. Do I like reading books? No, not Josh Groban. I want to say Josh Williams. I'll have to look it up. I, where am I here? Oh, do I like reading books? This is a question to our audience too. I like to read. Well, my problem is I start to read and I fall asleep. When I took my flights to the Philippines and back home and back again, it's a long time. It's 12, all combined, it's almost 24 hours nonstop. And yeah, I read. I read some. I used to be a big Tom Clancy fan. He's since passed away, but yeah, I liked Tom Clancy. I read Tom Clancy. Let's see what else here. What is the last book you read? I don't remember, but I think it was a Tom Clancy novel. Okay, another question. What kinds of things are you interested in learning more about? What kind of things are you interested in learning more about? So hopefully, there we go. I need my second computer. That's the other thing. The second computer died. Yeah, George. For me, what kind of things would I like to learn about? I consider myself a Renaissance man who's always looking to improve on the knowledge that God has given me from my brain. So I'm constantly trying to learn. I am enrolled in a Bible university and enjoying that, trying to learn as much as I can. When God got me involved with K-Roar, learning about the radio station, it was really Tito. You didn't see him over here. He keeps trying to sneak in onto the camera. I don't let him. I told you, you gotta watch it. Thank you, Miss Allison. What else? Computers. Constantly learning about computers and trying to better myself in that way. Hair growth. I'm trying to. Anyway, that was bad. Cooking. The problem is I love to eat more than I love to cook. That could be a problem. I was very excited last night. My lovely wife, Janice, I've been asking her to get me something I've been craving. Finally found bagels here. And they're not quite the same as the U.S. bagels, but they're close. And she was able to get for me Philadelphia cream cheese. And last night, before I went to bed for my snack, I took the bagel, I put it in the microwave, got it all soft and mushy and hot, and then put the cream cheese on the bagel. And oh, it was so good. It was so, excuse me, my nose itches. So good. I loved it. Absolutely. It's good stuff. And I thank her for that. I'll give you another sidebar here. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the term LOX. L-O-X. LOX. And what LOX is, if you don't know, it's smoked salmon. And what that tastes like, people say, well, that's sushi. No, this is not sushi. You can get sushi with smoked salmon in it, and that's lox. But they don't have lox here. There's not a big. It's usually a Jewish delicacy, but there's not a big Jewish community here. Mainly Catholic and Protestant. But I found a recipe to make my own lox, and it's actually pretty simple. But it was really, 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 really good. But I got a piece of bad fish on the last batch, and I ate it, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And to this day, I have not been able to go back to the homemade lox. So maybe sometime in the future. But it's good, 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 good stuff. Let's see what's the next one on the list. Blah 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 blah. Here we go. And I expect an answer from George and Allison on this one. What's your favorite app on your phone? What is your favorite app on your phone? My favorite app? That's a tough one. Plus, Tito, back in the booth. He doesn't listen. Nice guy, but he doesn't listen. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on so I can see my phone. Tell you what my favorite apps are. You know what? I don't have any apps. My phone exploded. No. Apps. I have a game that I play. It's called Crowd City. Crowd City. And it's all these little people. And you take one person and you're a certain color. And every time you touch a person that's just white, they change to your color. And there's like 8 or 9 other people doing the same thing. And the idea is to get the biggest crowd before time runs out. And that's a lot of fun. It's a time waster. You don't have any what, Allison? George says Facebook and the Bible app is neck and neck. Well, that's not bad. Don't be ashamed, because you can be evangelizing on Facebook, right? Right? What else we got? I have an app called. Well, first off, I'm a ham radio operator. My call sign is Kilo Alpha 2 Alpha Uniform Romeo, KA2AUR. I'm licensed from the United States. I don't have any radio equipment right now because of cost. I'm on a budget. But there is a I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, an app called HamSphere, HAMSPHERE 4.0. And when I saw this, I was like, what the heck? And I went and I looked, because I'm a ham radio operator. Ham and amateur radio operators, interchangeable. And the two, like I said, are interchangeable. When I looked, they claimed to be a simulation of ham radio. I said, how do you simulate ham radio? It didn't make sense. So I said, I didn't. Anyway, make a long story short, I finally broke down and I signed up for it. I think it's $9 a month. No, $9 every 3 months. It's very reasonable. And it's just like being on the air. You get the static. you're able to. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now somebody told me. It's been raining all night here. Now the sun is finally coming out. Tito! Speak when spoken to. See, it's still there. Here. Let's see. All right. Anyway, it's a wonderful simulation of ham radio and the ham radio environment, and you can talk all over the world, and it's just pretty cool. If you're curious, always wanted to be a ham radio operator. You don't have to be a licensed operator to utilize this, and you can get a 30-day trial. I don't even think they ask for your credit card during that 30 days, and it's just absolutely fascinating. It's wonderful. The other one that I liked, and probably my favorite, are any of you, what do you call it? Are you into space? Are you into space? See, the thing's still there. It's still there. Tito is doing some. I think we got it. Tito, you're looking very fit today. All right, back in your closet. Okay. You're not allowed to do anything. The program I'm talking about is called Kerbal Space Program, KSP. And if you're into space and into aeronautics, it's absolutely awesome. I utilize that more than anything for enjoyment. I mean, I'll go a couple of days and can't, get there, but sometimes it makes you think. You incorporate engineering, you incorporate common sense, and it's got some great explosions when you fail. I mean, when you fail, it's you're like, oh, but it's beautiful. But you should check it out. It's called Kerbal Space Program. All right, folks. Well, we're about out of time. This is the first time we've gone 1 hour. If you'd like, feel free to drop us a line again and let us know you've been listening. Any comments are welcome, positive or negative, because like I said, we are in the process of going through our shakedown cruise here, trying to get the bugs and the kinks out, even with the programming. This is all going to evolve. Clay, God's clay, on the potter's wheel, and God's molding us into what he wants us to become. So please keep us in your prayer. Here is the email address for anything things that we discussed today, Lion of Judah Radio at kroar.org. Don't forget our website to listen to the station. Please. I'm not sure how this works on here, but if there's a place to say that you like this, please click on like, and please share to help get the word out. Anything to help the cause, and I think that's everything. So, Godspeed. Have a great week. No, great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Until we meet again. Thanks so much, everybody. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.